With YouTube demonetizing independent media, please consider becoming a patron today for just $1 per month. Link below. Speaking of people not happy with things, Damon Lindelof's Watchmen apparently isn't an adaptation or a sequel. So, what? Damon Lindelof? What's going on here? Now, when this was first announced that HBO was going to be doing a 10-episode Watchmen series, or at least the 10-episode first season of the Watchmen, a lot of people out there were like, oh yeah, because this is a story that needs to be told episodically. It needs to be told long form. Zack Snyder's Watchmen Ultimate Cut coming in at 4 hours is amazing. It is amazing. And for what he was able to do, but even that was just an adaptation. So we thought this would be more of a straightforward one. And apparently this is more of a remix. Yeah, because the last thing anyone wants is Damon Lindelof to turn the Watchmen into some shitty rap song you would hear at a club, where it's just you hearing the beat and then some DJ comes on like, this is the remix. You don't want that. No one wants that. And I've seen that live, and that's just the stupidest thing ever. Now it says here, Lindelof told fans on Tuesday that his Watchmen adaptation for HBO will be a remixed version of Alan Moore's 12-issue classic graphic novel, saying, "We have no desire to adapt the 12 issues Mr. Moore and Mr. Gibbons created 30 years ago. Those issues are sacred ground, and they will not be retread nor recreated, nor reproduced, nor rebooted. They will, however, be remixed." So isn't that like... That's just some artsy hipster way of saying we don't want to mess with the original thing, but we're going to make it totally better, okay? Like, we're going to put glitter and sparkle, and we're going to bring back Rorschach from the dead, and this time he's not going to be angry. He's just totally going to be this wonderful happy-go-lucky guy. Like, that's the remix there. That's the juxtaposition of the character. It's what, man, people don't want a remix. People don't want... they want a straight adaptation. That's what they want. Why are you going to mess with that? It doesn't make any sense to me. So it says here, Lindelof described the original 86 comic as our Old Testament, and likened his HBO series to when the New Testament came along. It did not erase what came before it. To be clear, the Watchmen is canon. So, okay, but the Old Testament was like fire, brimstone, right? Right? Wasn't the Old Testament like God smiteth you? Did you eat meat on a Friday? You are now damned, sir. You are going to hell, sir. This is what they did. That's the Old Testament, like the locusts and plagues and wrath of an almighty angry God. The New Testament was very much a hippie testament, right? Hey, man, peace and love, man. Right? Like, what the fuck are you doing to Watchmen, you son of a bitch? It's the same thing you did to Prometheus. The same thing. The same thing you did to Lost. Damn it, Lindelof. Now, granted, look, The Leftovers apparently got really good by the time it hit its third season. But ultimately, it was just... no, man. Like, I'm totally okay without this thing doing that. Now, it says here, he says, so we're not making a sequel either. The story will be set in a world its creators painstakingly built, but in the tradition of the work that inspired it, this new story must be original. Oh, Jesus. Then don't call it Watchmen. Don't call it Watchmen. Just don't do it. Just call it yeah, because this isn't going to make Alan Moore happy either. He's sitting there right now looking like Howard Hughes, storing bottles of piss, like, I'm coming for you, Lindelof. And it says, and perhaps the most surprising break from the source material is it will all be set in the present day. Like, part of the aesthetic of what made Watchmen so interesting was when it was set the 1980s post-Vietnam Reagan era. I mean, dealing with all the elements it dealt with. And maybe he'll find a way to, look at the current situation with Donald Trump and North Korea and the nuclear problem there as being probably what's going to replace the whole situation with the 2 minutes, with the clock and the 2 minutes to midnight sort of thing. Nuclear destruction. I think that's what he's going to be aiming for. If you want to talk about the present day material, they're going to remix it, base it around that. That's what they're going to probably remix it as. And it's just like, we're not in a Cold War again, because it's a height of the Cold War where Nixon was still president and costume heroes roam the streets. Both in the comic and Zack Snyder's movie revolve around a group of mostly retired American superheroes who investigate the murder of one of their own. And he did conclude here saying that the new characters will also intend to revisit the past century of costume adventuring through a surprising yet familiar set of eyes. So it's going to be either Dr. Manhattan or Silk Scepter, you know, and then he has a 5-page letter, which I'm not going to read. It's one of those more ridiculous aspects of it. But it's so stupid to me in this regard to have this particular story. Just don't remix it. Just don't make it contemporary. Don't make it this other thing. Just retell the story, because I don't think people are going to be as fond of it up front. I'll say up front. I don't know. The show could be good. It could be great. It could be glorious. It could be one of the best things we've ever seen. And then we have to wait for it to come out. But in the meantime, it's like, you know, just coming out and calling it a remix is not what fans want. But this is the world we live in now, and unfortunately, there's not much we can do about it.